The humidity of the Paleocene era is thick enough to choke the lungs of any living land creature. The air is heavy with the scent of stagnant water and the silent decay of the ancient wetlands. Deep within this primeval landscape, a colossal guardian moves through the shadows with a quiet, practiced intensity. The great ape has wandered into the heart of a sanctuary that belongs to a much older predator. He is no longer the hunter, but has become the prey in a landscape never meant for primates. A trench 3 feet wide and slick with iridescent slime indicates the passage of a massive, heavy serpent. This is not a path through the forest floor, but a fresh wake left by a giant monster. Suddenly, the ground does not just vibrate, it ripples as a shadow glides beneath the murky surface water. From the dark depths of the Blackwater swamp, the Titanoboa rises without making a single audible sound. It simply exists as 48 feet of muscle and power, a relic from the dawn of time itself. Its eyes reflect the dim light, as the sheer scale of the beast defies all known biological logic.
The great ape stands his ground, issued a warning that reverberates through the dense and humid jungle canopy.
The serpent moves with a terrifying grace as it prepares to strike at the trespasser in its territory.
With a singular massive lunge, it strikes, slamming into the primate with the force of a battering ram.
The force of its weight shatters the surrounding timber and sends a shockwave through the prehistoric mud.
The primate counters with primitive defensive tactics, striking back at the thick armor-like scales of the predator.
The blow strikes the dense fat of the serpent, but the Titanoboa remains focused on its singular target. It thrashes in a display of kinetic energy its tail, acting as a heavy club of pure muscle. A massive teak tree snaps like a dry twig under the impact, nearly crushing the agile great ape. The serpent targets the source of the movement, ignoring everything else to focus on the primate's throat. Every inch the snake tightens, the sound of snapping timber and grinding bone fills the humid air. One limb is caught in a lightning-fast coil as the Titanoboa begins the process of constriction. The pressure of 400 pounds per square inch is designed to turn bone into fine white dust. He finds a leverage point against a jagged rock and heaves against the weight of the scales. The serpent recoils in temporary agony, its mouth unhinging to reveal rows of sharp and needle-like teeth. The primate leaps from a limestone ledge, and his heavy weight acting as a weapon against the giant snake.
He brings his fists down with every ounce of strength into the serpent's spine and skull base.
The Titanoboa erupts in a final violent convulsion, its massive body whipping back and forth in the mud. The great serpent lies still, its massive head finally resting in the red-stained water of the swamp.
The great ape has won, but the cost of survival is etched on his tired and scarred face.
He looks around at the devastated prehistoric landscape, where he has killed a god of the world.
A distant roar echoes from the mountains, indicating that something even bigger is waiting in the shadows.
In this era, there is always something deadlier waiting for the king, as the cycle of survival continues.
Nature does not mourn the fallen, and it simply moves on to the next struggle for total territorial dominance. As the sun sets, the swamp remains a place of mystery, where only the strongest can ever survive. The scent of death attracts the smaller scavengers of the Paleocene world as the night begins to fall.
The king looks down at his domain, knowing that the next hunt will be even more dangerous than before. Hidden in the depths, more of these ancient giants wait for their chance to reclaim the surface world.
Survival requires constant movement and a primal instinct that has been honed over millions of years of war.
Lesser creatures flee from the path of the ape, whose strength has just been tested to its limit. His scars are a map of his history, each one representing a battle won against an impossible foe.
This is a land that time forgot, where every day is a fight for the right to exist.
He washes away the evidence of the struggle, but the memory of the serpent's grip will remain forever. The swamp claims its own, pulling the predator back into the mud from which it once emerged today. Even a king must rest, as the night brings new threats that hunt in the darkness of the jungle. The jungle transforms at night, becoming a world of glowing fungi and predators that rely on sound alone. The eyes of the island never close, watching every move of the ape who dares to claim dominance.
Morning brings a fresh perspective to a world that was nearly destroyed in the chaos of yesterday's hunt. The cycle begins again as the great ape prepares to defend his title against the next rising challenger.
In the shadow of giants, life is often short, and the struggle for survival begins at the birth. High above the canopy, the air is thin, and the world below seems small to the mountain's king.
Not every interaction is a battle, as the king observes the peaceful movements of the island's gentler inhabitants.
Peace is a fleeting concept on Skull Island, where the next kill is always just a heartbeat away.
Energy must be replenished, as the massive body of the ape requires vast amounts of forest food daily.
The king finds nourishment in the Haarslijn.
In the presence of greatness, smaller creatures learn the art of survival by watching the master's every move. A rare moment of coexistence shows the complexity of the island's social hierarchy between the different animal species.
The canyon walls tell the story of many years of territorial disputes between the ape and his rivals.
Each victory is recorded in stone, a permanent reminder of who currently holds the crown of this island. The sound of water is often a warning of a predator lurking just beneath the surface's calm facade. Most predators choose their battles wisely, and few are foolish enough to challenge a fully grown great ape. The river is no obstacle for the king, whose physical power allows him to master every terrain type.
He enters the Valley of the Fallen, where the bones of those who came before tell silent stories. The weight of his heritage is heavy, as he is the last of his kind on this island.
Even in the place of death, his authority is absolute, and no scavenger dares to cross his path.
The weather on Skull Island is as unpredictable as the creatures that inhabit its dark and deep jungles.
In the sky, new threats emerge as the storm brings predators that hunt from the heavy gray clouds. The rain transforms the landscape once again, testing the survival skills of every creature on the prehistoric island.
The rain washes away the scent of blood, providing a temporary reset for the predators of the swamp. Nothing goes to waste in this ecosystem, as the cycle of life continues even in the dark depths.
Maintaining physical health is crucial for a fighter who never knows when the next challenge will suddenly arrive.
The storm passes, and the jungle awakens with a renewed sense of energy and a desperate need to hunt.
Beauty exists even in a land of monsters, reminding the king of the world he is meant to protect.
The ocean holds its own giants creatures that even the king of the island respects from a distance.